I told my husband I don't want his family at my college graduation. My 22 female, husband's 24 male, mother, who I'll call Karen, and I have a very complicated relationship. My husband told me when we first got together that his mom was a piece of work, and I thought he was being dramatic. After 3.5 years together, I now know I was wrong. For some backstory, Karen has 2 children. My husband, who I'll call Hunter, and a daughter, 34 female, who I'll call Brooke. Brooke is absolutely the favorite child, even though Karen, quote, doesn't have any favorites. It is a common thing that Brooke and her child get prioritized over any important events that take place in my husband and I's lives, including our wedding. Additionally, Karen says she loves me and she can't ask for a better daughter-in-law, but her other words and actions prove otherwise. 2 days before our wedding, Brooke called to let us know that she and her daughter would need to leave the wedding for about 5 hours after they got ready that morning because the child had a dance rehearsal. Brooke was supposed to be doing my hair and makeup, so this was detrimental. I figured out a solution. 2 weeks later, I find out that the dancers were allowed 3 absences. They used 2 for a week at the beach, and they wanted to keep 1 just for in case. Their vacation plans were more important than the responsibilities that were agreed to a year prior. When my husband said that I was relying on her to uphold an agreement from a year prior, she said that she couldn't believe my husband seriously wanted her to tell her child she couldn't use her God-given talent to dance. There is more to this specific story, but this is also meant to be a backstory to the current situation. Karen has also treated my husband poorly during his life, and she is continuing her poor behavior now. She physically and verbally abused my husband throughout his whole childhood. When we were only dating, she told him she loves me, but he should go be a whore instead. She wanted to know why he wanted to settle down so early, and she even told me when I asked her about it that Hunter could still date me, but he shouldn't only be with one person at a time. Then, before we got married, Karen had the nerve to tell me that she would try to take custody of Hunter and I's children. We don't have any, and we don't plan to have any anytime soon. This is a very small piece of awful things she has said and done since we got together. So here we are now. I'm a current nursing student, and I've been working my ass off in college since 2019, and I'm very excited and proud of myself that I graduate in December of this year. Every couple of months, Karen asks me when I graduate, and I remind her again and again. My graduation date has been spoken about for the last 2.5 years since I was admitted to nursing school, so this is not something they're just finding out. In January, we were discussing graduation, and she said that she couldn't wait to be there. I politely told her that my school has been doing some work on our arena and there may be limitations to guests at graduation. She threw a fit about this. She said, quote, "We are family now," and went as far as to say she deserves to be there. In March, I told her I was notified that guests would not be restricted and I would love to have them there. Karen, Brooke, her daughter, and my husband's father. She said, quote, "This might be an issue." I was confused since she made a big deal about wanting to go. She said that she, Brooke, and Brooke's daughter have planned a secret girls' trip out of the country over the same weekend I am graduating. Karen said this is her Mother's Day, birthday, and Christmas presents. She said they would get me something nice instead. My husband told me he would make it happen, and I told him I don't want them there. I refused to be a second priority to a vacation that was planned after they knew when this special moment was. They already didn't prioritize our wedding, so I don't want them at my graduation anymore. I'm upset by this because this is a huge moment in my life, and my mom was a single mom my whole life. As dumb as it sounds, I was excited to have a big cheering section instead of just my mom and my sisters. Let me make this extremely clear. I am so thankful that my mom and my sisters are able to support me. I know not everyone has that. I always saw the classmates with a huge family at events like that, and I always wondered what it would feel like. I thought I was going to experience that. There's way more I could add, but this is already way too long. So what do I do?
Absolutely nothing.
Hallelujah. This is a blessing in disguise.
It really is. This is beautiful.
Ooh.
Am I the asshole for telling my husband he's too broke to be sexist? They're away. So my husband comes from a quote-unquote traditional family. Mom's a stay-at-home mom. Father was the sole provider. I came from the opposite. My mother pretty much forbade from ever being financially dependent on a man and drilled that into me early on. My husband worked hard to unlearn the values he saw replicated at home. He often pulled his weight at home, was an engaged and present father, and a genuine partner. The one thing that grinds my gears is how much weight he puts on the opinions of his family. I get that we all want our parents to be proud of us, but this is too much. My in-laws are staying with us for 2 weeks. Our usual MO is I prep breakfast, we all eat lunch at work at school, and my husband makes dinner. We have a cleaner, but she's on holiday, so in the meantime, we're DIYing the cleaning, where it's down to everyone to keep their space clean and common spaces we all clean. This is how we've always done it, and it works. My in-laws hate that I'm one of those modern women. They hate that I work, they hate that I don't find my purpose in being a wife and mother, and they hate that my husband pulls his weight at home. We spoke pretty frankly early on, where I established my boundaries and told them I won't be chastised about how I live my life in my home. When I am a guest in their home, I accommodate their ways and play the daughter-in-law they wish I was. They have, for the most part, respected this. I got home yesterday after work, tired and starving. I typically get home around 6:15, 6:30, and we eat at 7. I said quick hellos and ran up for pre-dinner shower. When I came down, I went to the kitchen to help set up dinner and found nothing ready. I asked my husband about it, but he wouldn't look at me, and his mother answered that he hadn't cooked anything. She told me I needed to do my duty as a wife and cook for my family. My coward of a husband still wasn't looking at me. I just walked away and ordered takeaway. I dished up for me and my kids, and we sat at the table to eat. My husband and his parents served themselves and joined us. My mother-in-law was still going on about what was wrong with me and why I was a failure. I asked my husband if he had anything to say. He said his mother had a point and it wouldn't hurt if I acted more like a proper woman and took better care of my home and our children. He said tradition was tradition for a reason, and it was kind of insulting that I thought it was too good for how he was raised. This is where I might be the asshole. I told him tradition won't allow a man on $35K to support a family of 5, and he was too broke to be so sexist. He looked hurt, and I saw tears welling in his eyes. He excused himself from the table. I regret saying this in front of our children, but him saying that to me after I'm busting my ass to clean up his mess on top of having to deal with his parents was too much for me. Am I the asshole?
Divorce! No, set them fucking straight. 35K? Bro, no.
My 23 female partner, 31 male, passed away, and now his parents hate me. My partner passed away due to an accidental overdose a little over a month ago. The day it happened, I left to get coffee, and when I came back myself and the paramedics that arrived a few minutes later did everything we could, but it was too late. This has been the hardest time of my life, and there's been many days where I haven't even wanted to be alive myself anymore. He was the best person I've ever known. We were in a serious committed relationship for just under a year. He had just cleared out half of his condo for me to start moving in the night before he died. Additional info: I've never used drugs. I wasn't close with his parents. We'd only met a few times. My partner had a complicated relationship with them. After he passed, I really felt like I needed a relationship with them. I expressed to them many times that I was there for him and I wanted them to be there for me. My partner had an ex. They were together for a couple of years. She was horrible to him. He hated her and she was blocked on everything. His parents knew all of this. When I gave the parents the keys to the condo, they said I could keep my key for now and be there as much as I'd like to, and also said I could speak at the celebration of life if I'd like to, and I should be the first speaker. I agreed and said I would love to. They also asked for photos and videos of him from the slideshows they were doing. When I sent them over, they said most of them were inappropriate because you could see his tattoos, painted nails, or he had glitter on. That's who he was. My partner didn't care about gender norms. He loved expressing himself through his appearance. Let it go. One day, we were going through all of the mail at the condo. As we were leaving, I said I want to be a part of the cleaning and said that he would want me there. Then I said I would also like some of his clothes, a couple of pieces of art, and his Xbox. Neither of them responded, and I thought they were maybe feeling emotional, so I let it go. Before the celebration of life, his mom wanted to go shopping with me because she didn't approve of how I typically dress. While there, she looks at me and says, "I've decided you're not speaking anymore at the celebration of life." I was stunned and hurt, but I figured they're going through so much. I let it go. I've been sharing photos of him on my social media because I love and miss him. His mom texted me saying she keeps seeing all of my posts on his phone and it was hard for her because I wasn't posting appropriate things. She asked that I stop sharing things where he had makeup on, could see his nails, or things that contained anyone holding a drink or a vape. While this upset me, I again let it go and slowed down on the posting. At the celebration of life, I saw that his parents saved a spot for the ex up front, but not for me. Then the first speaker comes up, which again is when I was supposed to speak, and she introduces herself as his ex's sister. This felt like a huge slap in the face, but I let it go. When saying bye to his parents, his mom said I could take whatever from the condo. A couple of days later, I went there and cleaned out all of my belongings. I took some clothes, 2 chains, a coffee cup, a notebook, the Xbox, and 2 pieces of art. Yesterday, I got a text from his parents asking where his vacuum was. I responded saying it had been at my place since before he died and I'd bring it over. When I arrived, I saw that they had already cleaned half of it out. I was of course upset but didn't say anything. His dad then says I can take anything I'd like to. I told him I did take some clothes and a few other things already, so I'm not sure what else I would like. I left soon after due to my hurt feelings. This morning, I woke up to multiple texts from his mom saying the Xbox wasn't there and I need to be honest with them. I called her to explain, and when she answered, she said I've broken their trust. I've stolen from them and their son. This is the wrong way to end a relationship with them, and I need to tell her everything that I've poached. I listed all of the things I had and apologized for not texting her the day I took them, as well as not giving her the explicit list when I was there yesterday. She then demanded the key back from me, and when I asked why, she said that they were wrong for trusting me. I tried to explain that they did tell me I could take whatever I wanted, and I'm sorry if I misunderstood. I'd be happy to bring back anything they would like, but she kept interrupting me. I attempted to say I haven't been feeling respected by them or welcomed. She interrupted me again and got even more upset, saying that's not an excuse for what I did. After a few more attempts, I came to the conclusion that there was no chance I'd be able to speak my feelings and agreed to drop the key off under the mat. I can't even imagine how hard this has been on them. No parent should ever have to go through this, which is why through all of this, I've kept my feelings to myself and tried to not take up any space. But I also lost the love of my life and my best friend. How do I navigate this situation? Do I continue to try to have a relationship with them or do I give up? My mom is an influencer and I hate her for it. My mom, 45 female, has become a Facebook influencer. I, 16 female, used to not care when she took pictures, but it's gotten crazy. Everything she does is now posted or live streamed online. Even if we're somewhere where it says don't photograph or film, she'd find a way to film it. It was annoying at first, but now it's downright frustrating, especially since 3 months ago when she got really into it. I declined my 16th birthday party, so she threw a giant party claiming it was for her anniversary, my brother's graduation, and my birthday. There were 150 guests, and between my dad, my brother, and myself, we only covered 30 of them. I don't even know how much of that party she wasn't on her screen for, since she was constantly filming and uploading it, along with a lot of her friends. I really wanted to perform there. I practiced for months, but the idea of her filming and uploading it made me so nervous I backed down. I don't like being photographed or filmed. Even as a kid, I didn't. Another time we went on vacation and every second it was filmed. When we got to the hotel, we weren't allowed in until she recorded the room, even if we just drove 8 hours and wanted to sleep. She'd take her time in areas she could photograph, even if it was a rock. But when me, my dad, and brother tried to enjoy a non-aesthetic place, I felt rushed and like she just wanted to go. If we got food, she didn't let us eat or move the food until photos and videos were taken, even having us pose with the food or announce what it is. That one annoyed me. One time we traveled by car and it was over 10 hours since we ate. When we got a chance to eat dinner, she took my food before I got a chance and was recording it and saying things like, "Ooh, how delicious." And I was so tired and hungry, I just gave up and started tearing up. On the vacation, we went on a boat, but she was live streaming. She was calling out followers, thanking them and saying how much she loved them all. The boat was going to check out Alcatraz, and I thought it was so disrespectful, especially because it was a public area and not everyone wants to be filmed. And also the history of the island makes me feel like it needs to be respected and not treated as a background to a video. One thing that made me want to write this post was because I was trying to get a drink out of a soda machine. She had me pour out the ice from the cup so she could record me doing it for a shot. I have a certain ice to soda ratio I like, and it was perfect the first time. After that, I didn't get it correct, and it was just a damper on an already not so great day. After that, she held my soda and was showing it off to the camera, and I just had to wait until she was done. Another thing is I've started to envy her followers. She gives them so much more attention than me. She was off on my dad about how much closer I am with him than her, but I asked to watch a movie with her and she declines. Her reasoning is always that she has a live stream later she's hosting, or a video to film, or her followers are live. She's turned me down so many times I stopped even trying to hang out with her, since if I do get her around, she's on her phone. One time I asked for her opinion and she snapped that she was tired from her job and that she needed time to post. She live streams so much that I sometimes have to skip meals because she can't have the background noise, and she live streams in the middle of the kitchen. She'll stream for hours, and if she had any issues with the internet, she makes everyone power down their devices so she can get a better connection. The most attention she's given me recently was recorded. I was in a dance class and the only time she looked at me was when she was recording what I was doing. The instructor praised me to them for my work multiple times and she didn't even notice. I checked and she was watching the live stream. I feel like I'm going crazy. When she posts about me, I feel exposed, like I have no control. My dad keeps saying she views the world through lens, and I have no clue if this is how parents are nowadays, but it's terrible. I'm so sorry if anyone else has to grow up like this.